Hello, 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 my lovelies, and welcome to the Miss Lillian's page. I am Crysta from Litter to Glitter. I am a furniture artist out of Garland, Texas. Apologize for the wonky angle. I'm trying, guys. I swear to you, I am. So let me see if I move back a little bit, if I can get me in there. There you go. So what we're doing today is I'm still working on the chocolate cabinet, and this is the tray that sits on top of the chocolate cabinet. And I thought that it would be really, really cute. I've got in this decoupage pack from Grace on Design, and it is called the Siren's Song. And I'm going to show you what comes in that pack. Give me just a second. That's why I had to get so far back from the camera. So this is the large sheet. You can see the siren in there. And so that is one sheet. There is a white sheet of decoupage, and then the third sheet is a smaller picture of the siren. Isn't she beautiful? And also it's got these mermaid scales as well on that sheet that you can cut. And you see I've already done that. I've pretty much cut out what I need to use. And so I'm going to be using this pattern here on this chocolate cabinet. So I didn't cut it out exactly to spec to exactly fit in. What I did was I pretty much, it's a kidney bean shape. I did do it just a little bit more than bigger than the area because I've met me. And I know that if I were to cut it and say, oh, it's going to be perfect in there. No, it's not. I'm going to mess it up by like a quarter of an inch or something, or once I'm going to do something. And so since I have met me, I always cut my pieces a little bit bigger, and then I put them down. I wait for them to dry, and then I will cut them out that way. So if you're jumping on, say hi, tell me hello, and let me know what you're working on. So this is real easy. This is the decoupage paper Siren Song from Grace on Design. Only thing I need to accomplish what I am doing is I have put down coat of wisteria, and I also use some texture magic. So it's not going to sit perfectly, and there's going to be wrinkles, and there's little areas in here from the texture. So it's not going to be a perfect flat, and that's what I'm looking for on this piece. So I've got that. I've just got a chip brush, some satin clear coat, and my handy dandy water mister bottle. These you can pick up anywhere. I found the most inexpensive place I can buy them is at your beauty supply stores. And so that's where I get mine from, is the beauty supply store. And so only thing you have to do is I went ahead and made sure that this was stirred and everything else. You want to make sure that you stir your top coat. And then you're going to put down a layer of the top coat just where you want it. So I am going to make sure that I am getting right up to the edge, but not over the edge, because my paper will then adhere to the edge. And so I am, if you can see, I am going right along the edge where I want it. And so I'm just taking my chip brush. And yes, I do have this on my Lazy Susan. I love my Lazy Susan for doing these art projects. It makes it so easy to spin them around. And so I don't have to go everywhere. The project moves. I don't have to. And so if you are an avid crafter, I absolutely suggest that you get a Lazy Susan for your smaller projects, because it is a time saver and a lifesaver. And so I went all the way around the edge, and now I am just filling it in. I'm going in and putting a generous amount of top coat in the center area away from the edges, because like I said, I did do the edges first. And so I'm just putting the top coat down all around the edges. or in the center because I already did the edges. There you go. I'm going to set this off to the side because, again, I've met me and I know that I might tip that over and then it would go all over the place and then I'd cry because that's me. So you see I've already cut it into a kidney bean shape, which is the overall shape of this piece. Now what I like doing is taking my mist bottle and just giving it, you're not saturating the paper to where it's drippy. You just want to mist it. And because the misting on this paper just gives it enough of a give to where you can shape it slightly. And so I'm going to put this in. Now with my fingers first, I am going to push it down around the outside, and see, I did not place it correctly. That's why you want to test it. There we go. And so I'm just going to lightly put it in and get it placed where I want it. And then I will slowly, and I like to kind of go from the middle, and I'm just using my fingers right now to work the paper where I want it up into the edge. Now I'm using my nails, guys, to put it into the edge. But you can use a pencil, a pen, you can use a brush. You could actually use a chip brush to do this and kind of brush it. But I pay enough for these. So, you know, I use them as tools. And so when I am trying to get them into areas, especially with a hard crease, I will just go around just kind of like you're making a pie and your crust, because that's what I'm doing. And so I'm using my fingernail, and I'll bring it up there to show you guys up close. See here how I've taken my fingernail and made a very strict line. And so since I do not have the top coat here, it's not going to adhere. So when it dries, I can just go back with my X-Acto cutter and I can very easily cut it once it's dry. To me, that is so much easier than trying to cut it while it is wet, because sometimes it will tear if you have it dampened, and we don't want that. So I am just going right into the crease, getting my little lines out, pushing it up to the corners. And so that's what I'm doing. And so I am going to sit back down and get it right back out to the corners. Now, since that curved side, and that's why I have my X-Acto blade, what you can do is that when you hit these curved areas, sometimes it doesn't want to fit very well. So what you can do is you can go right up to that edge and make a little slit in the paper, much like a muffin pan or, you know, a muffin cup. You just cut a little bit on the side, and it will allow you to move the paper instead of it being stuck. And so there we go. And so that's what I'm doing. So tell me what projects you're working on and what you are doing. Again, this chocolate cabinet that I am working on is actually for part of our skull collection. It's going to hold a skull. And so that is what is going inside of my chocolate cabinet. And right up to that edge, again, I'm going to make another little cut right there. Gives my paper a little bit more working around funky shapes. And that's exactly what this is. This is a funky shape. So some people will actually overlap their decoupage, and you can do that. I like to cut, if it's in a funky shape, I like to cut it to make it adhere so I don't have to fold it. And so just making sure I'm getting my air bubbles out. There we go. Going right to that edge, making sure I've got a crisp right on the edge. And like I said, I'm using my fingernail. You can honestly, if you've got a X-Acto similar to this, you can use the blunt end of this to go around as well to make sure that you get into those corners. And so since that is how quick and simple that goes down. So when that dries, I will take my X-Acto and cut my line, or again, where my top coat was not. So that's done. I'm going to set this off to the side to dry, and I'll let it dry a couple of hours before I cut it. And then I am going to grab my water. I am going to bring back in the sugar cabinet, or the chocolate cabinet, and I'm going to spin it that way. That's why I love my spinny. I love my Lazy Susan. And so I am going to be playing with some gilding jewels, and I think I am going to use, because I just grabbed them, I am going to use the turquoise, and this one is called Mermaid. So the gilding jewels, see, this one is called Mermaid, and this one is Peacock. Aren't they so pretty? And they are so heavily pigmented. It's just beautiful. And so I'm just going to take a little bit. You can see just a dab. And I am going to go over and do a little bit of gilding on these rivets. This is all wood, but I'm going to make it kind of crust it up, add a couple of different colors, and I'm starting off, like I said, this one is Mermaid that I'm starting off with. I'm using purples and blues and some greens. So really, I'm kind of doing another style of mermaid cabinet because I love my mermaids. And this just goes on so easily, and they dry really quick. So they're really, really easy to layer. That's one of the great things about these. I love layering my gilding waxes, and I love layering my glazes as well. So we're just going to do a quick layer of these, and then I will go back and I will start in with the peacock, and then possibly move on to some others, some other colors as well. But I know I wanted to start off with the mermaid and the peacock, and then move to some other colors. And I did use, like I said, Texture Magic in my paint to give it some of that, well, texture. And so on this piece, I don't want it to look smooth and pristine. I do want it to have some grunge. I do want it to have, you know, to look a little worn, older, but also to give it a little bit of a glam. Well, it's a mermaid. Of course it's going to be glam. So, and on top of this wisteria color, this mermaid is just popping up against that purple. So like I said, I want to play with purples and blues and greens on this piece. Is the style or the color palette that I am playing with. And if you do this, if you put down your gilding wax and you walk back from it and you go, hey, I want a little bit more right there, you can always add some more. That is not a problem. Can always add more. And I did. I hit my cabinet up there. But once it dries, I can go back over it with a little bit of wisteria touch-up and hit that, and you'll never know the difference. So don't feel like if you make a mistake that it is the end-all of the world. It is not. I often find true beauty in the imperfections on a piece. So I do enjoy that. So that is just a quick layer around the beading trim in the Mermaid. And then I'm just wiping off my fingers here. Put my lid on because I know me. I'll walk out, forget it. No, I won't. And so I just want to make sure that I've got it off of my finger so I'm not putting the mermaid color inside of the peacock. So this is the peacock, and it is, hey, Miss Shirley, that's Ma. So this is the beautiful turquoise color that we're going to be adding on top of the peacock. So let me see if I can move you guys in closer so y'all can see the colors. So this is where we're going now. We're using the mermaid on top of peacock. And on this one, I'm just going to kind of blot it on each one because I do want that mermaid to show through. And so I don't want to cover up everything I did. So on this one, I'm just going to kind of blot it on the dots and see how that blue and that green mixing together is just really pretty. Oh, really pretty. And get the top of these dots here. Oh yeah, that is making a huge, huge difference. And it's really pretty. Really, really pretty. So I hope everyone out there had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. Next week is Sue will be flying in from Tennessee. She will be here with me for a week. You can follow me on my Litter to Glitter to see all of the shenanigans we get up to while she is in town. And oh boy, we've got a couple of things planned. So it's gonna be fun and it's gonna be interesting. So I hope you join us for that. Also, we are looking for my company, Litter to Glitter, and another furniture artist in the Dallas area. We are looking for 13 tall dressers, not long dressers. They need to be tall. They are building a home for girls that are kind of too old to be adopted, but yet they're still in the system. And so they're building a home that can house up to 13 girls at a time. And so we are looking for donated dressers, tall dressers. So myself and another furniture artist in the Dallas area we are volunteering our skills, and we are going to be painting 13 dressers for these girls and donating them to the house. And then when the girls age out and they have to move, they will have something from their childhood that they can take with them, which would be the piece of furniture. And then they will let us know when they have another resident. And at that time, we'll find another dresser and paint it and donate it. But we need to find, so if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you have a tall dresser that you would like to donate, please reach out to me and I can set up a pickup time and come and get them. So, oh no, Miss Shirley said she can't hear me. Can you hear me, lady? Did it come back? I don't know why the audio keeps cutting out on me. So let me know if you can hear me again. You can see how the mermaid and the peacock came into each other. And I will do that. I'm going to swing back over here into my gilding waxes. And I think I am also going to hit it with a little bit of silver. So let's hit it with some silver, shall we? And so, ooh, I need to make sure I get it all off my fingers, because that silver would definitely show up. Look at how creamy and smooth that is. And so I'm going to kind of go, I think, on the bottoms. Give it a little bit of depth and texture on these. And kind of muddle them a little bit together. So tell me what you think of this. Yeah, that's giving a lot of texture. And those colors are muddling in really beautifully together. And so if you wanted distinct colors, what you could do is you can apply your gilding wax or your gilding jewels and then let them dry. Me, I wanted these colors to muddle in together, so I am doing them in order, one right after the other. So the colors will muddle in a little bit more than if I were to let them dry in between each coat. And so I am really liking that. And these little details, this little tack pattern on this is really small. And so I'm really surprised my fat little fingers are doing this. There we go. Oh yeah, that silver added a whole nother dimension to it. And so that is wonderful. That is looking good. So I'll show you guys again, if you didn't get to the first part of the video, what did on the first part of the video, if you're just coming in, is that up here is a tray. And so what I did was I used this mermaid scale, fish scale, but it's mermaid, in the top of the tray. And so that's what I'm going off of, is these rich purples. There's a little bit of gray in there. And I also know I want to do a little bit of blue in there as well. So greens, blues, and purples to go with the mermaid theme. Kind of the mermaid motif that we're going for here. So I like it. I like it a lot. So if you've used the Miss Lillian's Gilding Jewels, what are some of your favorite colors? I get asked that quite frequently, and honestly, I can't tell you that I have a favorite color. It depends upon my project, whether or not which color is best for me to use. But there are so many amazing colors in the Gilding Jewels. And it's like finger painting for adults. And we all know how much I love being an adult and being allowed to finger paint. So It's one of my all-time favorite things to do, is finger paint with gilding jewels and to paint with glazes and everything like that. So I am not going to keep you guys. Just wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial on decoupage around some funky shapes, and also to do a couple of the gilding jewels so that y'all could see these things are so rich, so creamy, and they are so highly pigmented. The gilding jewels, like the mermaid, is a metallic, the turquoise is a metallic, and the silver is also metallic. And so they are very shiny and very, very cute. And you can put them over atop each other and really do amazing, amazing things with them. So I will be on the Litter to Glitter page with Miss Sue tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, 6 o'clock Texas time, y'all. And then I will be back on the Miss Lillian's page next Monday at 3 Eastern. That is 2 p.m. That's Texas time, 2 p.m. Texas time, y'all. So again, I am Crysta from Litter to Glitter. I am a furniture artist out of Garland, Texas, just a little bit northeast of Dallas. And I will see you guys next week. Much love to you guys. And